I found there was some interesting stuff. Like, for example, I didn't know that we were in potential to lose a lot of our bargaining power with the federal government, with our kind of group of universities being cut down by one by UNB and two potentially by University of Moncton. So it would be interesting to see a big maritime league, and then that would definitely give the maritime university some voice. I also found the idea of communication with between residences and the student representatives to be the right way to go.
I liked the speeches that kind of talked about directly relating students to us, because a few of them mentioned that students didn't really know what the student union did, which I feel like is really accurate, because as a first year and like a lot of friends are first years, like if you asked us, I think we could not tell you 3 things that we knew like precisely what they did. So I think that when they said making like the connection between the students, I think it was Alex who said that. I think that's a really good idea. Some of the ones that talked about like a lot of more higher in the university things weren't as relatable to us, because it's not. I mean, it's so important, but it's just like as a first year, I don't know about the other years. It's kind of above our heads. We don't really know exactly what's going on. So, I mean, that might be part of the position. I don't know if it should necessarily be part of what they're telling us, because we don't really know what they're talking about.
I really liked that they also touched on mental health and the stigma around. I think it's a really important issue, especially pertaining to university students who tend to have a lot of more stress, coming out of high school. Specifically first years. I mean, first year is a big transition, and I think in terms of supporting the mental health and just ensuring overall mental wellness, a first year should be a pressing issue for them, as they do. I think in total MASU right now leans more towards up year students who understand more, and we don't involve first years enough in that whole area. Also, they had a lot of great ideas about improving overall how we deal with academic issues and clarifying process. I think that's really important so that students understand their rights, especially. They also touched on housing, and when you move off campus, there's a lot of confusion. To bring clarity and simplicity to the process would really benefit students, so they understand fully what they're doing.
There were some things for sure. I mean, they all promised a lot that was kind of relevant to what I would want as a student, but I mean, nothing in particular. I mean, they all promise very similar things, and it's going to be tough. I don't know. They have lots of different personalities. I know Melissa, she's very vibrant and, very confident, and Alex was more modest, but it'll be, I don't know. Nothing in particular, but I'll look into their platforms online for sure.
Well, Melissa gave a good speech. She just seemed to really be into the school.
I was actually very impressed. Some of them were things I hadn't thought of before, and I didn't realize were kind of wrong. Like I've never thought about moving off campus, but the fact that they were considering giving your rights. Was kind of a good idea, because students, I think the best way to be a good citizen of Sackville and to be a good student, to be educated, just to be educated.
None of them really touched on the environment, and I think Mount has made the green initiatives, but it's not enough. We need to keep going, and the fact that they didn't come up at all tonight is a little bit concerning to me.
No, there wasn't really anything that they said. I thought that overall all the points were hit that needed to be hit.
I didn't really, not that I didn't like it, but it was just a little harder for me to relate with when they were talking about a bunch of different things, like working on different policies and different frameworks of different committees and things that I didn't really know what they were talking about, and I thought they were all pretty good.
I don't know, I didn't even know we had a union, so there's that. I don't know, but again, the football team is voting for Quinn's cat. So, we're voting for Kitty Cuddy for 2013.
Not in particular. Nothing that really stepped on my feet. I don't know. Not really, no, to be honest.
There's something I didn't really like. They're selling something.
Yeah.
That's the fact, so you automatically kind of have to be skeptical, I guess. But they seem to do a really good job. But
They did good on the mental health question. The environmental question was pretty good. One of them said that she thought that the environmental group at the university should be taking care of that, but he was asking them what they're going to do about it. Or, I don't know. I guess it was all right.
Fair response.
It was kind of rushed, so I feel like there might have been more questions, but they had to go. So we can find them if we have questions.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the positions on SAC really. I know they call for I know they want to be transparent, but I really don't. I don't know in particular what they do as a whole. So anything they mentioned, everything was kind of new to me because I'm kind of new to MASU and all that. So I mean, nothing really that stepped on my feet for sure.
No. I found that all of them I agreed with more or less pretty much, right?
I didn't have it. I don't have any major issues.
Yeah.
No, they covered some really good stuff.
I guess pertaining to environmental issues, I would have liked to hear more. And I guess in a 3-minute speech, you can't get out everything you want to say. So I'm going to definitely have to take a look further at their platforms and not be afraid to get involved and ask them the questions because they can't get everything out they want to. And it's certainly important to understand everything about what they stand for and also just who they are as people if they're representing you on your student union.
Okay, so my issue with the whole SAC speeches and stuff, there's not enough people running. Most of these people are running unopposed. There's one that we just saw that was an opposition actual speech. So these people they're pretty much getting into office without any fight, which you could see it if they're excellent people, I guess it's a good thing. But you should never really have that kind of political system where there's no choice. So I think that's a major issue.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue happening right now is there seems to be a bit of a disconnect between the current potential candidates and what's happening and going to be happening with the people already in office before the end of their term. They have until the end of this school semester, and a lot of the issues being talked about now, without naming names, mostly by people that aren't currently on council, mostly because they don't know, are talking about a lot of issues that they want to tackle that we're already in the process of tackling and are most likely going to be resolved by the end of the semester, like the health and dental plan, pushing for better reimbursement. We aim to have that done by the time this year is over. But I don't really see that as a reflection against these prospective candidates, except that they may not be doing the best research. It's also a bit of a reflection on the people that are currently in charge because this information is not being circulated well enough, because if these potential candidates don't know, the students don't know either. That's my 2 cents.